Denny Blanco, I still got you up at 10 o'clock at night on a Wednesday night here in New York. How you doing, my guy?
It's in the game pod. Randy J. Cruz, Sir Denny Blanco. You drag me over my bedtime from time to time. Only when we have special guests. So yeah, I mean, so we got special guests. The kid gets live, and we invite people over, and we have a good time. So thank you everybody for watching. We have a special guest, Randy. Please, the floor is yours.
We got my man Josh Rodriguez, podcast producer for The Volume, Shay Media. He's on Twitter, X at Josh_Rodriguez_, right?
Yes, sir.
That's correct. Right. You can find Denny Blanco at Sir Denny Blanco on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all that good stuff. Find myself, Randy J. Cruz, RENDY, the letter J CRUZ on all social media platforms. If you are watching this on X, YouTube, we are doing this live. So any questions, comments you have, hit us up in the chat and we'll get right to it. Find the audio on SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, also on Amazon Music. So again, we're doing this live. I just seen the Bucks defeat the Chicago Bulls. Coming up next, the Knicks and the Phoenix Suns in Phoenix. Josh, right out the gate, I got a nice question for the both of you.
Okay.
You know, and we'll get to the story that or what I've seen about tweaking the NBA All-Star game. Another idea came up, and we'll get to it. But right now, we had a month of games. We've seen who's doing good, who's in mediocre right now. If you were voting right now for the Eastern Conference and Western Conference All-Star starters right now today, for what you've seen, who would you pick? Don't make that face, Dennis. It's a real.
There's a lot of thought into this. All right, let's see. Right. Definitely Jason Tatum. Definitely Donovan Mitchell. Karl Anthony Towns for sure. I think offensively he's been phenomenal. I gotta go down the rosters now. Who else is playing? Giannis. Even though the Bucks have struggled, you got to go Giannis. And then one more. Let me see. I'm looking at the standings right now to see the teams.
You said East All-Stars right now?
And West.
East All-Stars right now? You mean starters or just bench or just, you know what I mean? We just starters?
Yep.
He said Giannis. He said, You said Cat already?
Yep.
You said Tatum?
Donovan.
You got Cat on there?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
So you're missing one?
Yeah, I'm looking at the teams right now. The problem is the East has been terrible all year. So it's hard to pick out just like, oh, this guy has been leading his team to overachieving because that's not happening anywhere. The Sixers are terrible, so I can't say any more from the Sixers. Giannis is Giannis. That's the only reason why I could say him. But Halliburton's having a down year. You know, who do I pick?
You know what? I got you.
Brunson, yeah. We can go
Brunson. I got you. Cade Cunningham.
Cade's been good this year. Yeah. Cade's been good. I'm going to go Brunson. I'm wearing a Knicks hat, and I need to, save my reputation right now. I don't want to jump.
Playing well.
I mean, I agree with Donovan, Tatum, Giannis, Cat. And I would go Brunson because if you're going by like standings and all that, like even LaMelo Ball is having a crazy career year.
Yes. Yeah.
Trae Young is up there every year. But a lot of teams are still trying to find the mix. Like obviously you asked me on paper, Tyrese Maxey could have been on there. Halliburton could have been on there. Right. Dame. But I think just now it's only a month in. That's why I'm saying, who would you pick right now? But with a month in, you're seeing Cat doing his thing in New York. You see Giannis just being Giannis, as we've seen tonight against Chicago.
Yeah.
Tatum second best record in the East behind the Cavaliers, and Donovan right now best record in the East. So I put him at the 2 guard, and I would say from a point guard standpoint, I probably go Brunson for the East.
Yeah, I go Brunson too. But Cade, to Denny's point, has been really good this year, and the Pistons are overachieving. They're not above 500 right now, but definitely better than a lot of people thought they would be.
True.
Yeah.
You agree, Dennis? Those 5?
100% agree. You throw Cade in there. You have to throw Cade in there because of his performances this year. Everybody else, it's a lot of bad basketball going on in the East. A lot of injuries going on in the East.
Yeah.
So you can't.
Too many.
The folks that we mentioned have come out and have been consistently giving you all-star play. So I think the names we've mentioned, will be fair. Anyone else in the chat, if you think that we missed somebody, please let us know.
Yeah, please.
Because again, if certain people were healthy, me and Dennis are picking Banchero. That's automatic.
Right. Yeah, he's on there. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Embiid, if he gets healthy again, like those kind of guys. But there are some surprises. I'm not saying maybe all-star, but like I seen like RJ Barrett's getting 25 a game now, and I'm like, he's doing work in Toronto.
That's cute. That's cute right now. Cute.
He's having a good year, man. He's having a really good year. He is.
He is.
Yeah,
there's no Barnes. They're out. So he's been the one guy doing work over there in Toronto.
Evan Mobley.
Let's see more.
Evan Mobley, yeah.
He might be a sleeper starter.
Wait. Evan, you talking about Evan?
Evan Mobley, yeah.
Heavens to Betsy. I don't know if it was Kenny Atkins, but whatever it is, someone sat your boy Evan Mobley down and said, yo, big bruv, you're a big man. Stop shooting. Stop trying to play on the perimeter and just go to the rack every time. And look what's going on. Look what's happening.
He's facilitating too. They're running the offense through him sometimes, not all the time.
Yeah, no.
They went away
I love
from
the
him Boston,
progression.
I didn't like, but yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Jay, a little more difficult. Western Conference before we move on. Right now, starters for your West All-Stars a month into the season. Who you got?
SGA, Jokic, Anthony Edwards, LeBron AD.
Like it. I
would say Steph.
Like it.
Guess me sometime, though.
Like it. Old man LeBron, 59-year-old LeBron James.
LeBron, AD, Shea Gilgeous,
Jokic, and Anthony Edwards.
And man.
That's like, I mean.
We're leaving off Luka. We're leaving off Steph.
I mean
Wemby. Wemby's another one we're leaving off.
Hey, off the bench.
Hey, before the injury, KD was up there. KD was 8-1 with Phoenix.
If KD was healthy, 1,000. KD had a case for MVP before he got hurt. I know it's early. It was like 9 games in, but he was up there for sure.
I'm just saying, no matter what, I think KD's gonna make it anyway. Like KD, Luka, all this stuff, they're gonna make it. I'm just trying to think right now who's having that season. Like De'Aaron Fox,
he's up there.
He's way up there.
He's up there. Definitely deserves an all-star nod for sure.
Where the kids? Oh, the 11th. They're 11th. 8-7. No, 60. He dropped 60 and 60.
Yeah, but he's averaging 29, 6 and 5 right now.
I mean, it's not. Well, they're 8-7. So we'll see what happens. It is the West.
Yeah.
So it's not like they're not loaded out there.
That's crazy.
This is now the players that we talked about that we named. They're the ones actually performing at the highest level right now, as we see. Obviously, Warriors, Thunders, Lakers, and there's the Nuggets at number 5. So
yeah. So Josh, I'll start with you. 1 month in, who or what teams have been surprises for you from a good standpoint, from a bad standpoint? What's your trajectory on certain teams right now or players?
I mean, the Warriors have surprised me the most, which is a weird thing to say because they're the Warriors. Yeah. They have Steph Curry.
Never go away.
I didn't expect them to be this good. And it's not just Steph Curry. That's the impressive thing. They go 12 deep sometimes in a lot of games. And, continuing with the theme of people who surprised me, Buddy Hield. I mean, I like Buddy. He could shoot the rock. He's always been able to shoot the rock, but he's come out and having a career year. Candidate for 6th man of the year so far, in my opinion. So the Warriors coming out and doing what they've been doing defensively and offensively, for me, has been a total surprise. I thought they'd be a playing team. They're looking like they are actual contenders right now, which is a wild thing to say. It's early. Yeah. I think they need to make a move at the deadline. But, I mean, based off what we've seen from the West, like teams like the Nuggets who've got off to a slow start, the T-Wolves still haven't found themselves really. The Mavericks have gotten off to a slow start. Who's better than the Warriors right now outside of, I mean, is OKC. Like, they're missing Chet. And they've been awful for the past like 3 games, but they don't look the same right now. So, like, who's better than the Warriors right now in the Western Conference? I don't know if anyone's better than them. And then on the Eastern side of things, obviously it's the Cavs. 15-0 is 15-0. I don't care who you play. You got to win 50 straight games in the NBA. You're going to catch L's here and there. And what they've been able to do, shout out to Kenny Atkinson, because I think he's the driver behind this. And also continuity, keeping the same team together and not shaking up a roster, for I think that's worked in their benefit. And right now they're looking like the biggest threat to the Celtics for now.
Quick update, Josh. 11-3 Knicks, by the way.
Let's go.
Right out the gate. 11-3.
Let's go. I don't even gotta watch. I don't even gotta watch the game. It's
over. Denny, your surprises, teams wise, players wise. What's 1 month in? Is it the Cavaliers? Is it the Warriors or somebody else?
You know what? Because I'm a hater. I don't like to talk about, what things are already, what things are expected in terms of the positivity. I expected the Warriors to do some work because it's Steph. I expect the Thunder to be
number one right now. Number one,
anywhere between 1 and 6. Anywhere between 1 and 6. All right. So that's the window of where they should be because it's Steph Curry, right? And you got SGA. Then you got the Lakers. Shout out to Dalton Connect. You sons of bitches. Guys, Dalton Connect was 17th. You trying to tell me those 16 other teams didn't need a Dalton Connect? Really? Guys, you saw what LeBron said. You saw what he said.
Braun's mad nobody believes him either. He's like, all I do is lie, apparently. But Braun is mad at people, bro. He sees the comments. I believe Braun. Hashtag believe Braun. I believe him.
Y'all wasn't watching Tennessee games, apparently. Y'all wasn't watching Tennessee games, apparently. Okay, cool. So, yeah, I mean, you're talking about continuing the hate train. Excuse me, New Orleans Pelicans, obviously, Zion is out again. Yes, same train has come through. We'll see him when we see him. And obviously, that team has to adjust once again. That's on the west side. On the east side, you have Philly, who's, for me anyway, as I investigate and put my ear up down the I-95, it seems to me this team's on the brink of a blow up.
Philadelphia.
The 76ers. Oh boy. It seems to me that folks are a little tight over there, and for good reason. Wait, let me go to the videotape. Blanco, where are 2-11?
Disgusting.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
You got a guy the guy that doesn't want to play back to back. You got a guy like Tyrese Maxey, which clearly he's like, yo, listen, I come to play every day. I give it my all, and we need more. So these are all the things that I'm shocked about. Like, what's going on? And then we mentioned the injuries, of course, which is just a plague throughout the NBA. But you talking about the Warriors? Let me double back. Hey, I think the Warriors' kryptonite, if there's gonna be any kryptonite, the Lakers or the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah,
you need a big. You need a big that's going to command Steve Kerr to be like, hey, little boy, go defend that big man over there. And that's where the advantages are going to take place. Randy.
Yeah, I think that's what Josh was saying, that the Warriors would need a move. And now I'll go to you, Jay. Is that move getting a big man in order? Like, tell me if it is a big man, like a serviceable big man, like an all-star or just a veteran, just someone just to be down there, because without that big man, they can't compete with the Giannis and Jokers and those kind of guys.
So we were talking about this before the show, but I think someone like Vucevic would be perfect. You have someone who can play the 5 and take AD out of the paint, take Jokic out of the paint on the offensive end. That was their biggest problem against the Lakers a couple of years ago, was the Lakers' size, right? If AD can just chill at the rim and protect the rim, and you have no one bringing him out, advantage Lakers. But if you have someone like Vucevic is not going to guard AD, right? He's not going to stop AD.
Yeah.
But on the other side of the ball, he can at least take AD out of the paint, and you can have Steph run wild. Forget it. I mean, offensively, they're going to be hard to stop. And to me, that's probably their best course of action to try to beat a team like the Lakers. Because I don't really know, when the trade deadline comes, like let's just say, for instance, a Mitchell Robinson becomes available. I'm not saying he will, but like he's a rim protector, but he can't spread the floor, right? There's to me, you have to choose, like, do you want a rim protector to kind of play better defense, or do you want to take it on the opposite end of the floor where it's like, okay, I want AD out the paint, I want Jokic out the paint, I want these bigger teams we're going to play against out of the paint, and they're going to have to guard us. And I think that's probably their best course of action. I just don't know what the contract situation looks like for Vucevic or anybody else that they would be trading for, but that's what I would try to do.
Have you gotten used to seeing Clay not in Golden State, but now
it's weird, man.
Mavericks? It's weird, right?
I hate it. I hate it. It's disgusting. It's so weird. It's so weird.
I mean, he's doing all right though. I mean, it's not Clay, but nah, real Dennis for real. Like what? He's sticking a joint up. Damn.
Stinks,
that
man.
Bad?
It stinks. It stinks seeing Clay. It stinks seeing Clay over there in that blue Dallas. But Steve Kerr's no dummy. Steve Kerr's no dummy. They're gonna need a big that's gonna stretch the floor, not big that's gonna be a rim protector. After rim protection, wait, hold on. How many rings Steve Kerr got? How many?
Quite a few.
How many? And how many teams that he's won that has had a rim protector? I'll wait.
I mean, Kevon Looney, Andrew Bogut. I mean, Bogut maybe.
Bogut, probably the last one. Other than that, no.
They were small. They were really small in 2022.
It was Bogut. It was
Bogut. That's it.
Looney.
Bogut. But if it's not Vucevic, who's alternate? I mean, who else could we bring up besides Vucevic?
That's the thing. Like with the trade deadline, you don't really know because people come available for various reasons, right? Like maybe a team's doing worse than expected. Now people are all of a sudden available. Who knows? So I don't know, but I think Vucevic is like the prototype for them to maximize their offense. Obviously, you're gonna have problems defensively, but offensively, you're gonna at least have the Lakers have to adjust to you rather than just having AD camp out in the paint.
Danny, to your point about Dalton Connect, he did go 17. Teams that did not pick him were Philly because they got Jared McCain.
I don't mind that. I don't mind that.
Portland, Sacramento, OKC, Chicago, Utah, Memphis because they picked up Zach Edey. Spurs because they drafted Dillingham. Portland, Charlotte, Detroit. Castle went to San Antonio. Houston because they picked up Reed Shepherd. Washington and Atlanta.
Did you say Portland passed twice?
Portland at number 7 and number 14.
Passed twice.
Yeah.
Did they have their 14th pick? Who did they take at 14?
Bob Carrington.
Okay.
From Pittsburgh.
I don't know what folks was watching.
Connect on a Sacramento or OKC right now? That would have been
Bro, on Tennessee, it took me one game to watch that man, and I said, "Oh, okay." I said he reminds me of a bigger Austin Reeves.
Yeah.
He can shoot, has range. I believe he's taller than Austin Reeves as well. Plays defense, can go left, can go right, and he's athletic. Can go to the rim. Has one-on-one moves and moves without the ball. What else do you want from a guy who's developed over a period of time? I'm confused, NBA executives. You're making me confused. What kind of player are you looking for? You want development? You want to actually create a player? Is that what we're doing? We're doing 2K. Is that what we're doing? We're doing 2K. Is that what you're doing? You basically saying, give me a French guy who's 18, who's never played in college ball, and we're gonna make him the best thing since sliced bread. Forget the guy that's already doing work in college. Forget that guy. His ceiling is that's it. There's nothing else. The guy who you don't see nothing about, that's the guy's going to the promised land. I'm confused, Randy. Jay, I don't know what else to say. You guys, Dalton Connect is going to take the Lakers very, very far. I would be very worried if I was in the West. I would be. If you see the Lakers in their development, I would be very, very concerned.
Jay, give me the new acquisitions like Cat going to New York and Randall going to Minnesota. I'm probably missing a few others like Chris Paul going to San Antonio. Or who have you been liking of seeing? Like, you know what? Aside from Clay to Dallas, because I know how you feel about that one. But like you mentioned, Buddy Hield going to Golden State. Who are some guys that you like? You know, I like them in their new spot.
Well, Cat for sure. I mean, Cat has taken the Knicks offense to another level. The problem with the Knicks right now isn't so much their offense; it's their defense and figuring out, how to move defensively and work together defensively. But Cat has been—he's having the best offensive year of his career. I mean, the fact that the paint's wide open. Everyone was talking about the paint being wide open for Jalen when they got Cat. The paint's wide open for Cat because Rudy Gobert is not chilling there in the paint anymore. So Cat can do whatever the hell he wants. And it's beautiful, man. I always knew Cat was a good passer. I didn't know he was this good of a passer. He's a phenomenal passer. He has taken that offense and just taken it to new heights. And right now, if you're a Knicks fan like I am, I'm really happy with what I see from the offense. The defense will come about. Thibodeau will make sure of that. I'm positive he will find a way. Yeah. Bridges will get settled in defensively. And I think the Knicks, their ceiling right now is looking really high. I think they're going to start hitting that ceiling soon. I think a win streak is coming for the Knicks. And I think a lot of it has to do with Cat and what he's brought to the team. Julius on the Timberwolves, from the games that I've seen, I think Julius is a positive for the Timberwolves. I think he forces them to play faster. He gives them another option on offense. At times last year when the Timberwolves got into trouble, it's just give the ball to Anthony Edwards and let him go to work. And then if that didn't work, they didn't really have anything else. Now you can give the ball to Julius. You could run different actions with him, with the ball, off the ball. He can get in the paint. He can create for others, and he's been doing that. He hit a game-winning buzzer beater. I know that, the Timberwolves right now are kind of looking hot and cold sometimes, but I don't think that it's Julius's fault. I just think they just have to get used to each other. Buddy Hield, like you mentioned, to me has been phenomenal. He's someone who I didn't expect to have this big of an impact. The Anthony Melton, same thing. He got hurt today, though, so he's out for the year, which is unfortunate because it looked like that Golden State was making all the right moves there for a little bit. It was scary hours. It was scary hours for sure.
And I still think the jury is still out on, like a Paul George to Philly because he's
not playing. Hartenstein played today for the first time, so I'm interested to see how he does. Nice. With OKC, there weren't many big acquisitions free agency wise though. Like Hartenstein was one of, if not the biggest one to go. I remember when he went, it was
we had DeRozan to Sacramento.
Yeah, DeRozan's been good. But to me, he hasn't elevated that team to contender status. It's just kind of like yeah. See? And he's been hurt too. He's been out of the lineup.
All right, well, if he's hurt, then he's hurt.
Yeah. What about you, Denny? Who's surprising you with their brand new roster?
I mean, surprising me.
You're a tough judge, man. You're a tough critic. I tell you that much.
All right,
it's hard to impress you.
Shout out to the big meow. He's doing what he's supposed to be doing.
Killing it, bro. Frankly. He's doing more than he's supposed to be doing. He's killing it.
Well, again, no Gobert. That makes a lot of sense when it comes to spacing. Yeah. So, yes, he's doing what he's supposed to be doing. Shout out to him. And, yes, the Knicks are right in position. Now, once again, great move because I think Cat is the equalizer for Porzingis. Now you need one more piece. You need one more.
One more?
I think you need one more. I don't know. I'm looking at your bench, and I'm looking at the Celtics bench.
Yeah.
Say again?
They need a better bench. You're correct about that.
Yeah. So I'm looking at that Celtics bench, and I'm like, yo, let me say, Payne Pritchard. Your Payne Pritchard's problem.
I think once Mitchell comes back, Precious comes back,
Deuce is healthy.
It's gonna fall into line.
Yeah. We are missing two big big pieces, Danny. We're missing two big pieces right now.
Yes,
Yeah.
you are missing two big pieces. And obviously what I care about is chemistry. And also too, people have to understand too that once you keep having these players go in and out, it's about chemistry. Yeah. Then you mentioned Paul George earlier, injury, Embiid injury, then he got to come back. Then he got to get to understanding of what's going on. And you think that's easy? You think that's going to be just you turn on the light switch and then it's going to happen? No, that's not going to happen. So, guys, the teams that keep this, I guess the three main core, the three main cogs of, the Knicks can keep Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, and Cat healthy. Just keep those three guys healthy.
OG too.
Oh, sorry, OG. Thank you. Keep those four guys healthy. Those four particular. Everybody else you can shuffle in and for real. To be honest with you, but you need those four healthy if you're going to go to the championship for sure.
I'll tell you one thing. We didn't mention it. Like teams that are surprising you from a good standpoint. I know they're number 9 right now in the East, but Brooklyn has been very surprising. Cam Thomas is getting 40 and 30 at will. Schroeder was getting 20, 22 a game at some point. They're not looking to like they're tanking. They're playing hard every game that they took the Knicks to a damn near overtime, whatever, in the cup at the Garden last week. So that was really surprising. And from the West, nobody said it here, but I think me and Dennis said, could it be a playoff team? Yeah, the Houston Rockets.
Yeah.
Houston is number 4 right here, one game out of number 2. So let's start talking about those damn Rockets.
And they beat the crap out of the Pacers today.
Oh, word.
Yeah,
as they
the
should.
crap out of them. Yeah.
As they should. I want to mention something too, real quick too, because I'm looking at the standings and I'm looking at all these teams in the East, and you bring up the Nets, and I have to ask myself, the Nets, why aren't the Nets tanking?
Why not?
Yeah, why aren't they taking? Why are they trying to win games? I'm asking myself this because every other team is pretty much solid with their core, or pretty much has a guy. Right now, do the Nets have besides Cam Thomas, right? Besides him, I mean, other than that, do they have a core that they're building around? Are they building around Cam Thomas? Are these players built around Cam Thomas?
I think they made a statement saying that Cam Thomas is available for trade. I think everybody's on the block, but I had to guess Cam might be a part of the future, and so might Nick Claxton. Outside of that,
okay, fire sale. Woo! Fire sale.
Yeah.
Having stated that, my point being, landing this plane, tank, baby. Tank. Everybody below you. The Bulls got their core. Hornets got their core. Obviously, the Bucks are going to rise. You already got Toronto. They got their core. You got injuries involved. And you got the Wizards. Then you got obviously the Sixers. Pistons, they're building it up. You got the Heat. Hawks already got their core players that are young. And you already know about the Knicks. You already know about the Magic and the Celtics and the Cavs. So, Nets, tank. Get you a Cooper flag, baby. And go off. Are you stupid or are you dumb?
Well, I think part of it is you have to play these players to get their value up, right? Like if Dennis Schroeder's sitting on the bench, if Cam Thomas is on the bench not doing anything, then who's going to want them? So I think that's part of it too. It's like you have to play these guys and show that they're valuable to trade actual assets to them.
How did Philly do it? Trust the process. How did
Philly just outwardly tanked. Outwardly was just like, we are not trying to win anything.
No.
Nothing.
That's
Bring
what
up
I
the
need.
G-Leaguers. If you're a fan at Wells Fargo Center and you want to play, get in the game. Come on, get in the game. Play 5 minutes. Live out your dream. We got to catch this L right quick. Yes, that's what it is.
If you're trying to get a quick turnaround, I think you should trust the process, Brooklyn, and do that, because if you look at it, I make a great case, do I not, Randy?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, looking at the East and looking at what we have, just sell everybody off, bring in Cooper Flag, and build around him. Brilliant.
I mean, like right now, it seemed like Utah tanking because they're at 3-11. not doing well.
Because Danny Ainge, professional
Yeah,
tanker.
come on now. Come on now, my man Danny Ainge. Danny Ainge, the tank. Danny Ainge. He's going to tank. He got the eye of Cooper Flag now.
Yeah.
Oh my God. In Utah? What? Come on.
He needs this.
Yes.
He needs this in Utah. So he's not even going to take any precautions. 3-11. Good job, guys.
Proud of you, Danny.
Way to focus.
Good job.
39-23 Knicks, by the way, Josh.
Not even have to watch the game, baby. Not even have to watch the game.
Right. I do want to ask you this. Me and Denny have brought this up plenty of times, probably back in the winter. But there's a rumor. I've seen this All-Star game idea. I don't know if Dennis, if you've seen it or read about it. All right, good, great. Breaking news to you, Dennis. So they again kind of tweaking the All-Star game. So if you don't know about this, you find it out in real time. They're gonna pick 24 guys, the regular East, West. They got your pool of guys. Then it's like, oh, what's next? 24 All-Stars, right? Within those 24 All-Stars, they're gonna get broken up into 3 teams of 8. Right? Then team number 4 will be the winner of the Rising Stars game, which is like the rookie, sophomore, whatever, Canada, USA, whatever they're doing this year. Then 4 teams will be in like this elimination tournament for the All-Star game.
No. Listen, this is the truth about the All-Star game. All these ideas are just subtle ways to make things interesting when the real problem is these players don't want to play the All-Star game. They don't want to play. They don't want to compete. You can do whatever you want to do. You can
why is that, Josh? What has happened that
they don't want to get hurt? I don't know if they want to get hurt. They don't want to. I don't even think it's a competitive thing. I don't think they want to get hurt in an exhibition game. I don't think that they want to risk injury for their future contracts. What the NBA pretty much has to do is inspire these people to play. And the only way you can do that is probably take a car from each and every single one of them, hoist it above a pit of fire, and whoever loses, those cars just fall from the roof into the pit of fire, and they lose their favorite car. These people need some type of incentive or some type of consequence to play, because if there's no incentive or consequence, they're never going to play. There's no reason to play. You can divide them up in different ways, and they're never going to play ever. There needs to be some type of consequence or incentive, or it's just whatever idea you come up with. It's just like, yeah, okay, that's cool. So what? That's how I feel, at least.
So we've gone so far away of no more love of the game, no more to prove you're the best in the East, the best in the West. Come guard me. No more of the days of
that doesn't exist.
Kobe wants to guard LeBron, and Jordan wants to guard Magic and Isaiah. Now it's just like they don't care about the All-Star game. What else do I have to prove? Everybody's a brand now.
Right.
I don't want to get hurt. Like
there's nothing you can offer them, right? Like, you're going to offer them more money. I mean, obviously more money's cool and everything, but like, how much money are you going to need to like dangle in front of them to play hard, right?
So this idea you're not liking.
It's not that I'm not liking it. I appreciate the creativity. I just think the problem is that they're just refusing to play hard. And the only way you can get them to play hard is some type of incentive. But these are men who have literally everything. So what kind of incentive can you come up with? You're going to have to come up with a consequence, which to me is just smashing all their cars with a hammer if they lose.
So before Danny chimes in, are you fearing that this is going to be like the Pro Bowl in the NFL where they just go away from it totally?
Yeah, I do. I feel that way for sure.
Damn.
Yeah.
That is so.
They brought in Larry Bird and other legends last year to have a conversation with them in the locker room saying, hey, you guys are the best of the best. Fans want to see you play and compete. And they went out there and gave that performance last year. There's no talking to them. There's none. They came out the year Kobe died and they put on a performance in honor of Kobe. Outside of that, like, what do you – it's going to take a different just mentality or shift. And I don't know if this generation has it. And I don't say that as like an older millennial who's like, back in my day. But like, it's just true. It's just different now. And I don't know what you can do to incentivize them.
Denny Blanco, talk to me about this new proposed idea for the All-Star game. How do you feel about it? And are you in the camp of Josh saying that eventually, sooner than later, it's going to be like the Pro Bowl where there's no more NBA All-Star game?
No, they always have the All-Star game because they need the money. But that's one. Two, it'll never stop. It'll never stop.
Mhm.
Two, listen, to incentivize these guys, he's 100% right. I agree with everything he just said. You can't incentivize these guys. Rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. He took time out to say, you know what? Yeah, I have no problem giving you the work on the national stage.
Yeah.
With everyone watching, wait. So, I mean, LeBron, you can get some. No, and this is during the prime. This is during their prime.
Yeah.
LeBron, you can get some. D Wade, you can get some. Whoever Hall of Famer who's on the East that I played in the All-Star games, you can get this slow work in front of everyone. I don't give a damn. And this is what we're missing. Maybe Ant-Man. I don't know if it's the environment that is currently the NBA where it's, because Ant-Man really is the only one that's really talking, that really is, going to talk and back it up and have a conversation and play the game and be aggressive. And maybe Ja Morant.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe if Ja Morant, I think he has some of that, some of what Josh is thinking, that je ne sais quoi, that
that dog in him, man. You got that dog in him.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you that work. I don't care who's in front of me. I'm gonna give you that work. Yeah, possibly if he makes the All-Star team, then possibly you get a kind of different attitude. But other than that, guys are gonna be going through the motions, thinking about the Bahamas, Hawaii.
It's a vacation for them, and rightfully they deserve it. Like you work.
True, yeah.
You travel the country for months and you're the best at what you do. Like they deserve the vacation.
But even Jay, back in the day when All-Star game happened on Sunday, remember back in the day, All-Star game Sunday, back to work on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Now it's like, all right, All-Star game Sunday. I see you the following Monday.
Yeah.
Because you
deserve the time off.
Yeah, you gotta get that work. You gotta get that work and turn around right after the All-Star break and get right back to putting these numbers up on the TV. You want to know why? And you touch base a little bit on it, Josh. You want to know why? Viewership is down allegedly. Whether you believe in those numbers or not, I don't know. But viewership is down for the NBA. No,
they say.
Yeah. Is it not?
That's what they say.
I mean, I don't have the numbers, but
I think effort. I think effort is a component of that. I think fans are looking at the effort of some of these games, and they're just saying, "No, I don't want to watch." The Trailblazers play so and so because no,
instant value. Is it the fact that the top players are hurt, or there's frequent injuries, or the load management?
Everything.
Like I think it's a lot of factors.
Yeah,
it's a lot of factors.
Everything plays a part in that. I think the biggest factor is like, growing up when NBA and NBC, like we knew that if we were tuning into like Jazz Supersonics, I knew that I was getting Karl Malone and John Stockton versus Sean Kemp and Gary Payton every time.
Every time.
Every time. And now it's like if you tune onto TNT and they're highlighting like the Sixers Grizzlies, which was tonight, it's like, okay, is Embiid playing? Is Maxey playing? Is Paul George playing? Ja's out. And some of these injuries are legit, but a lot of times it's like, you don't know what you're getting, and it's frustrating, right? Like yesterday, Spurs Thunder was supposed to be Chet versus Wemby. Chet didn't play because he hurt, but is Wemby hurt? How hurt is Wemby? Like, you get what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's almost just like it's like if you were to promo a movie, right? Or have a trailer for the movie saying that this superstar or this movie star is going to be in the movie, then you go to the movie and they're not in it. And after a while, you keep doing that to a fan base.
Where's Denzel? Is he out?
Yeah, you showed me Denzel in the trailer. I love Denzel. He's one of the greatest ever. Now I come to the movie, I buy a ticket, and he's not in the movie.
I have a question. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to the Game Pod. Thank you, Josh, for tuning in with us. Thank you, Randy J. Cruz. Question. We've all played ball. I want to talk about, obviously I want to touch base on this. injuries versus in terms of, you ever had a bone bruise?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Knee to knee. You ever had a knee to knee?
Have one right now. Yep.
Yeah, the knee to knee.
Get well soon, man. Get well soon.
Yeah, you get a
Are
bone
you
bruise.
out 2 to 4 weeks, Jay? 2 to 4 weeks?
Actually, I tore ligaments in my knee, so like it's worse than right now. I'm getting surgery, which
man,
I'm happy about it though, man. It's time. It's time. I need the surgery. I need to recover. I need to get back on the court because it's been handicapping me for the past 4 to 5 years on and off.
All right, well, get back soon, please. But get back soon. But yeah, when you have a bone bruise, see, he just mentioned torn ACL, torn ligaments. Okay, that's when you really can't play. You're off the shelf, right?
Yeah.
These guys are taking days off for bone bruises. Bone bruises, really? Bone bruises, you guys? Really? Bone bruises? How unhealthy are you when you're taking days off for bone bruises? Have you ever heard guys would fight to play? Fight like, oh, I'm dragging myself. I'm dragging myself through these little nicks to play this game. And we still have a couple of players that do that. You can tell. But the concept is, when you hear a player say, yeah, I can give you I'll give you some work one game, but the back-to-backs, I ain't doing. That's
I mean, I think it's that. I think is like, listen, people do get hurt. We get it. We understand it. We but it's like, I think it's the like Denny said, you get a bone bruise. All right, I could be I could be day to day, rested. I'll be back tomorrow. I think a lot of these injuries are like, all right, this guy's out. Oh shit, he's out for the year. Oh, he's out 6 months. Like, damn, bro. Like, oh, you got a twisted ankle, 4 weeks. Like, wow. Like, majority are legit. Like, I got mad. Like, Chet, I want to see Chet play today. He got legit. I'm like, damn, son, fuck.
Yeah, he's
like
hurt.
The whole Pelicans roster is out.
Yeah, literally the whole Pelicans roster. And the Grizzlies are missing like 7 people.
If you're out because of a legitimate injury, like your Chets, like your obviously you may KD's out because of soreness. Yes, he's been carrying them, so yes,
like I get it.
I'll give him a pass, but I think a lot of these guys aren't taking care of their bodies. It just seems like that's what it is. A lot of these guys aren't taking care of their bodies, and they're getting little nicks here and there, and it's just turning into large. These guys out 6 months, 5 months. But again, the Bankero injury, we couldn't have predicted that.
No.
So we'll see. Shout out to
but Denny, you would think in the modern age of 2024 technology, LeBron spends $1 million in taking care of his body,
right?
And I don't know if they're training properly, or they say, "Oh, I'll get back in shape in training camp," and then wait the whole summer to not do anything. We don't know the regimen, but it's like I think this year it's been a lot. Like, oh shit, top people are out now for a week. They're out for like months.
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna spend $1 million in the cryo chamber. I got $1 million, and we're going to Vegas. We're gonna go to Vegas. We're gonna.
Well, I mean, teams are more advanced now too, right? Like, medicine's advanced. You figure physical training's more advanced. So it is kind of confusing where we live in an era where we know more about the human body than we ever have, yet we're seeing more injuries.
1000%. That's the confusion. That's what we're talking about.
Jay, since you're a producer, this is a question for you. Are you excited? Are you excited that Inside the NBA is going to ESPN, but TNT are the ones producing it?
Yeah, whatever you have to do to keep that show going. I think that show is literally a part of NBA culture and hoop culture right now.
Yeah.
It is pivotal to have that show, because without that show, I don't know what I can point to right now where I could say this is an influence of NBA in our culture. In the 2000s, you had like the And1 mixtape, and even though they weren't really like a part of the association, you had crossover with like Kobe going to Rucker, and you had people enthralled with basketball, which leaked over to the NBA with Allen Iverson and his style. In the 90s, you had the NBA on NBC and Inside Stuff, and NBA Action, and you had NBA Jam, like a video game, like all these things surrounded the NBA and created a culture that we lived in. Right now, I think the biggest problem the NBA is having, or one of the biggest problems, is that there really isn't culture surrounding the league anymore, right? Hip hop used to be intertwined with the NBA. It really isn't anymore. You don't really have a game like NBA Jam or NBA Live to latch onto. You can say 2K, but 2K has kind of dwindled a little bit. The only show right now that people go to for entertainment to talk about the NBA is Inside the NBA, on TNT. So whatever you have to do to keep that show alive, I am 100% down for.
I think, and this kind of answers two questions, like why today people aren't watching as much, or the ratings, or I would have been more happy if Inside went to NBC than ESPN. I've always felt, and since the day they left NBC in 2002 and they got on ESPN and ABC, I was never a big fan of the NBA on those channels, the finals, the playoffs. And I think it all comes down to, and again, we could be experiencing this now as far as the ratings. And we could talk about this player hurt, and I get it. But there's no stories for me. There's no storytelling. There's no rivalries. It's not like, like I told Dennis last week, when you saw NBC, Marv Albert and Bob Costas lays you a whole Oscar-winning promo, like, oh shit, it's the Bucks and the Spurs, like, oh wow, like
it's like a WWE promo before every game.
Sign me up. And obviously, when Jordan played, it was like, oh, it was the greatest. But it got me triple headers on Sundays, and like, oh, I'm watching every game. Christmas, like, oh, boom, story. This guy don't like each other, rivalry. They met in the playoffs last year. Now they're back at it. Like, we don't get that. Like, we just get, oh, tonight on ESPN, Memphis at Boston. Like,
right, just like two random teams who are good.
Okay, what's the story? Like, sell me on it, because you expected me just to be a fan of the John Morants and Tatum was cool, but if you're trying to get those casuals who were left when Jordan played or Kobe played, it's like they're not watching them more. They're not watching these guys, which they should. But it's like, what's gonna make me emotionally invested in it? Like it's like pro wrestling. I can't have you in a fight and there's no story. Like, why are we fighting?
Yeah,
but no one's gonna watch that. So I think that plays a major role of the storytelling and the rivalries. So a guy like Ant-Man, who's talking his shit and don't care about, Katie's my favorite player, but you know what? He gonna get this work in the smoke. It don't matter. So we need more guys like that to just kind of uplift. Like, all right, what are we playing for? And we haven't gotten that in a very, very long time.
I think you said that was a great explanation. I think NBC does sports better than any program. That's just, or any channel. That's my opinion. And that's a large reason why, right? I mean, because if you had Suns Timberwolves tonight on TNT, even, like, you just kind of get, like you said, it's just Suns versus Timberwolves. But if that was on NBC, they had like a 5-minute promo package before the game. They're hyping it up. NBC does a great job of like creating a world for you to live in, right? And inside you get enthralled with that world. And I think that's what we miss most about the 90s. It was almost like the NBA was more than a league. It was a world that we lived in and enjoyed. And I don't think that exists anymore. It's just kind of like, I'll just turn on the TV and watch the game, and I'll laugh with Chuck, Charles, and Shaq and Ernie after a game. But that's as far as it goes. There's like no culture or no world around the league.
But is there a fear that this show could be a little handcuffed or watered down?
Yeah,
to a degree when it goes to ESPN, because it's not TNT. Like they can do whatever they want, but now it's like, all right, fellas, we gotta like talk basketball, or you gotta like chill out with the jokes, or because if you take that away, then I don't want to see it.
Yeah, I don't think we'll have a problem with that. I mean, these guys come on literally at the latest hours during the night.
Yeah.
So you don't have to like worry about censoring yourself. And I also think that I don't think Chuck, Charles, Shaq, Kenny, and Ernie would sign on to it if they couldn't be themselves. I think that's probably part of the stipulation as well.
Yeah. Denny Blanco, talk to me. Are you in favor of Inside going to ESPN? Any worries about that show going over there to the worldwide leader?
Oh, NBA. The bag was heavy. The bag was heavy over there.
Man, why you sound depressed?
The bag was heavy over there. Those boys got a heavy bag to go over the ESPN, number one. So congratulations to y'all. Ernie Johnson was like, wait, so I keep my same crew on TV and behind the scenes. You're paying me more and I ain't got to move? Oh, yeah, I'm with that. Yeah. Sign me up. But you know what's interesting? You guys both make great points about why, which connects the dots for me anyway. The NBA has a viewership problem.
Yeah.
You mentioned Inside the NBA. Great example. Not even it was NBA stuff, NBA inside stuff. Excuse me. NBA. Okay. Behind the scenes, kind of like, I mean, I would equate it to, Hard Knocks on HBO early on. Behind the scenes of your favorite basketball player, what they're into, their hobbies, what makes them tick, who they hate, who they don't like, etc., etc. Got you interested in your favorite player. Maybe you developed a favorite liking for a player. You developed a hatred for a player, and then you watch them the next week get elbowed in the neck. That's what developed the Vince McMahon storyline attachment to the NBA. And you look at ESPN, and I think to myself, their NBA coverage for the entire NBA is 30 minutes. Is that fair? In terms of when they have those shows, it's 30 minutes every day, I think. In the afternoon. It's about 30 minutes, right? I mean, how many hours do they dedicate to the NFL on ESPN, for example?
NBA Today goes an hour. I think that's an hour. I think an
hour?
Yeah. With Perkins.
And that's daily, right? And that's daily?
Yeah, and honestly, it's a good show. It's just on at the wrong time.
On at the wrong time, right. Yeah. But also, too, again, look at the NFL hours dedicated to. In terms of
because NFL is king, bro. They love. I get tired of NFL. I get tired of it.
But that's my point. But that is exactly my point. They give you so much. You're like, Jesus. All right. We get it. We get the storylines. We get who's hurt. We get you hate Dak Prescott. We get you hate Dallas Cowboys. We get it. They drive it into us. They're not doing that in these channels anyway. Whether obviously TNT now doesn't have, it's now ESPN that has this show. But when it comes to NBA, maybe the NBA has the responsibility of being able to develop their own either channel, network, or whatever they have. They already got their channel. Obviously,
they have NBA TV,
channels. NBA TV. They got to develop more NBA TV to get some of these shows and give us more content with guys that are strictly talking about basketball behind the scenes, getting these rivalries up, getting you committed to the NBA and these players, and then viewership will increase immediately. It's a no-brainer.
And I think people, I think they do that because they know the NFL is only 17, 18 games. So like NBA, all right, you got 82, bro. We'll talk about you in February when NFL is done.
Yeah.
So it's like it's more like marquee. It's like I gotta tap you into these 18 weeks because after that, you play one game a week. They ain't playing twice. They ain't doing no back-to-backs in football. So it's like we talk about these premium conversations. After that, Super Bowl, February. Now we on to the NBA. So it's just like the NFL is king, bro. No matter when we talk about, I gotta find NBA on Hulu and Amazon and this and that, and we complain, and the viewership is down because then where can I find the games? But NFL can go Amazon, CBS, NBC, blah, 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 NFL Network, and everybody's still watching. Still watching. It don't matter.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Mic drop, you bum.
What else I got? Right now, the Knicks up 15 in the fourth quarter. The second quarter, about to be halftime in 4 minutes. 15 points. Yeah, listen, man. I like the Suns court right now. They got the valley joints, the city joints.
Yeah.
Are you a fan? Are you a fan of the cup?
I am. Jay? I am. I'm a huge fan of the cup. I think it creates competition. I think it gives an NBA fan something to look forward to. You know, I don't think you should be ashamed for rooting for your team to win the cup. You're not beneath it as a fan, and the players are not above it. I think it's cool. I think it was a great idea. I was in Vegas last year for the semifinals and finals, and it was a vibe, man. NBA on TNT was there. NBA Today from ESPN was there, and they were having a joint broadcast. It was a vibe. It was actually exactly what I think the NBA should be doing. Now the games themselves, it was kind of weird, right? It felt like an early like March Madness game, like round of 64, which is kind of like the building wasn't completely empty. You didn't really know who people were rooting for, so it was kind of awkward. But it was cool being around a bunch of people who love the NBA, and I'm for it. I'm definitely for it. I'm a fan.
I felt last year. I liked it last year, and this year so far, the courts are different. It makes you feel like, I'm walking into something different.
Yeah,
and the games do mean something. The only problem I had is that during the actual cup games, the fans, you felt there was a fan base.
Yeah.
But when you got to Vegas, it was like now the corporate people start coming in. Now they're just like it felt like the All-Star game.
Yeah.
In Vegas.
A little bit, yeah. And the I went to the Bucks Pacers game to go, like the Pacers won that game. It was the game to get to the finals, and honestly, the arena was half empty. There weren't a lot of people there.
Wow.
The one thing that I think that this tournament doesn't really do a good job of, like you said it in Vegas, but like if you're a Pacer fan and Bucks fan, you found out your team was going to Vegas like a couple days before or a week before the semifinals. Like you have to book a trip to Vegas. You have to book a plane ticket, a room.
Yeah,
like it's really expensive. So I like the idea of having it at a neutral site, but maybe it might be best if you just kept it like home court advantage. Is what it is.
You know what? I think you answered the question too in terms of viewership. What if? Let me get my Thanos on.
Oh,
get my Thanos on. Right? Snap my fingers. What if the NBA changed to like what we're talking about, the cup, but for the whole entire season? What if you had seedings? Go back to the 8 seedings, right? 16 teams, right? Go back to that. But it's point differential. You're ranked by point differential. How much you score ranks you in terms of where you are. And then you go through the playoffs. Everything else stays the same. What do you think about that?
So no cup, just have the playoffs seeded that way?
Just have the whole entire season. So, for example, if, I don't know, the Warriors score the most, obviously out of the West, in terms of total points for the season, they're ranked number one, and then so forth and so on. So whatever team scores the most, they're ranked there. Then you seed the playoffs and you go from there. As opposed to back in playoff 10. I know that's what you got. No, you don't even want to see that. You don't even want to see that. All right.
Well, because you could have a team like the Pacers who score 130 points a game, who are scoring more points than everybody, but
they're not going to keep that. They're not going to
keep that 7 wins.
They're not going to keep that up the whole season, though. That's the point. They're not going to keep that up the whole season. They're not going to do. Only certain teams are going to keep that up every single game. You feel me?
Yeah.
The good teams. That's when defense comes into. That's what I'm talking about. That's when defense comes into play. When you know every game, the other team's going to have an advantage when they're scoring the most. That's the only thing that keeps me in my mind. Like, we just can't lose a game. We just can't lose a game because that hurts our seedings. Every game hurts our seedings that we don't play everybody. Even though obviously injuries happen, I get it. But that's what I think. That's what would help competition. But just a thought. Just a thought.
No, listen, I think in the last couple of years, they've made strides to make you feel like it means something where they tweaked the playoff format. I think that's worked out because certain teams are like, 11th, 10th spot years
that's
ago.
A money grab.
They ain't making it. Now I got a shot.
That's a money grab.
Money grab, yes.
Money grab.
But I don't think it has hurt them.
Of course not.
No, like
keep adding NFL games. It's not gonna hurt. It's not gonna hurt anybody but the players. Keep adding NFL games. Be like,
but it's also giving a cushion to a team like the Lakers who've been there, where there's like not enough urgency towards the end of the year to actually compete, right? Like if you're fighting for the 8th seed and final 8th seed, and if you get to 9th, you're out. You're done. You have to play AD. You have to play LeBron. But if you have that cushion of the 9-10 seed, where it's like, you know what? We might drop into the playoff game, playing game anyway, being 7 or 8. who cares if LeBron or AD play today? Who cares if we 8 or 9? We know if we get into the play-in, we'll be okay. Like that's the one problem I have. It does, it is exciting for the teams that are like 10, 11, 12, but for the teams that are like 6, 7, 8, 9, it's almost just like, you're the 7 seed with LeBron. It's like, why am I going to play the last 2-3 games when I could rest and we're going to be the play-in anyway? So
exactly, because like if it started today, teams like Milwaukee and Philly are nowhere to be found.
Right. Hey man, that's the cookie. So the cookie crumbles, baby. That's how the cookie crumbles, baby. You got to be in position. You got to be available. You got to be there. And if you're not there and you're not available towards the end, you get a Boston Celtics championship, and then you got people looking around like, wait, we weren't even healthy. How we know they about that life? Oh, they about that life.
Yeah,
they're gonna show you they about that life.
Jay, before I let you go, because it's about to be halftime, I think I want to watch the second half. Is there a player or two right now that you see with the way they've been playing them that could make their first All-Star appearance this year?
Ooh, that's a good one. Off the top of my head,
yeah, that has never made it at all.
Has the Aaron Fox made an All-Star game? Was he on the team last year? I believe
so. Wait. I want to say yeah. I want to say
yeah.
De'Aaron Fox.
You got me looking right now.
Yeah, absolutely. He's made it for sure.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Yes, 2023.
Yeah, he made it for sure. Yeah. So,
this might be fun. We mentioned this before, like kind of joking around, but if Scotty Barnes stays hurt and RJ Barrett continues to drop like high 20s a game, like I think you could make a case for RJ Barrett backdooring into the All-Star game, just for the simple fact that the East is pretty weak and there's not a lot of talent right now, or a lot of people who are healthy. You got the whole Sixers squad that has missed. So like your Maxey's and Paul George and Embiid are not going to make it. So I think there's a route there for RJ Barrett, and he has a soft spot right here.
If I'm looking right now,
yeah,
we could put RJ Barrett, Cam Thomas.
Yeah,
Cam could be one, yeah.
And Cade Cunningham.
Cade's another. Yep. I think that was Denny.
Yeah.
In the West,
they're all playing very, very well, along with Jalen.
In the West,
yeah. West.
If Chet didn't get hurt, I would say Chet.
That's it, really.
Somebody from the Rockets.
Sengun. I mean, Sengun's having a good year, but he's not having like
Jalen Green.
No.
Not consistent enough.
To me, Houston's two best players come off the bench.
Right they're fourth right now. They're fourth right now.
Yeah. They're fourth right now.
No, the Rockets are legit. They are good. They're legit for sure. They good. Play defense. Sengun is legit, and they're required to play defense, so they'll sit the bench.
Yeah.
Shout out to
probably Wemby. Wemby's gonna make it this year. So
yeah, Wemby definitely.
He don't count though.
Yeah, he doesn't.
No,
he don't count.
He don't
count. Last question for you, Josh.
Mm-hmm.
Legit. Let me write that down. I seen they put the rosters for this Unrivaled.
Yeah.
This 3-on-3.
Yeah.
So explain to me, like, slow here, but it's 3-on-3, winter time. Every team got 6 players.
Yeah.
So we know Clark is not involved.
She's not involved, not yet. No.
I saw 2 wild cards. Like, oh shit, could Clark?
Yeah, I don't know who. I'm not tapped in enough to know who those wild cards are going to be.
I don't know either, but I know she's not involved.
I think based off, because they had these thing called pods, and pods are just like different positions that you play. It looks like, and I think they have to be like a small forward and power forward. So I don't think the wild card would be a Caitlin Clark.
No, I think she's not in it at all. I think it's done. Yeah. But I think a very cool, interesting concept. Get them involved in basketball during the winter. I think it starts in January, right?
Yeah, January.
Are you excited for that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I haven't dug deep into it, so I don't really know like how the season. Like, I couldn't tell you like the format of the season and the playoffs. I just know that's 3-on-3. I know that there's substitutions. I'm expecting something similar to what we saw in the Olympics.
Yeah,
but I think it's cool. Anything to put the spotlight on the ladies, man. Like, honestly, just being an ally and just supporting them and putting them in front of many faces as possible, showing that these ladies can ball. I think it's great for the league. So, it's not something that I admit, like, it's not something that I've paid attention to right now, but once it comes in January, I'll definitely tap into it. I've already decided that I'm on team Rose Basketball Club, because Chelsea Gray is my favorite non-New York Liberty player, and she's on that team.
Nice.
So I'm just gonna root for that. I'm gonna root for them. Angel Reese is on that squad as well.
Tough.
And the teams seem to be pretty even based off of what I've seen. So it should be fun. It's just good vibes. I think anything, again, to put eyes on the ladies in a good way.
Sure. My favorite non-Liberty right now, from seeing her in the finals, Nafisa.
She's dirty, bro. Yeah.
Like, yo, she's killing.
She's the Tim Duncan of the WNBA. Like, no one knows how good she is.
She's incredible. Obviously, her, Clark, Reese. Right now, Knicks up 18 at the half. Denny Blanco, any final words or anything you want to get off your chest before we let Josh go?
No. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. The NBA is the soap opera that it is. We're always going to be here to give you what it is, positive and negative, the hater. It's not hate, it's just truth. I'm just trying to see the other side, because there's a lot of vantage points in the NBA. So understand that. It's in the game pod, you heard. You know what the vibe is. Randy, talk to me.
You can find Denny Blanco on social media as Sir Denny Blanco. Find myself, Randy J. Cruz, RENDY, letter J CRUZ. Find Josh on Twitter at Josh_Rodriguez_producer for Shay Shay Media and the Volume Sports. Doing this live. Thank you for those who've been tapping in. Really appreciate it. Find the audio on SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, also on Amazon Music. Go ahead, download, rate, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Show some love and support for your boys on the program at youtube.com/Cruise Control Podcast. For myself, Denny Blanco, Josh Rodriguez, It's in the Game Podcast. We out.
It's in the game, you heard?
Yes, sir.